I'm Nicole Papiano from Your Instructional Designer, and this is Learning Pro Intros. Today, I'm here with Michael McKenzie Grant. Michael, can you tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Yes, well, it's a pleasure to be here with you, Nicole. I am a director of learning design and development for a large global accounting and finance professional association. And so I lead a large team that has a very diverse skill set, ranging from learning experience designers, interactive developers, quality assurance specialists. We work and collaborate with subject matter experts on a variety of topics in accounting and finance. But, that's what I do currently, and I love it. I enjoy it for a variety of reasons that I'll talk more about in just a few minutes. But, I do want to say that I have, served in L&D roles for a variety of different industries. I worked for, Michelin North America. I worked for some global telecommunications companies and other accounting and finance organizations, and, spent some time as an independent consultant, myself. So, just kind of working with a variety of organizations and trying to help them out from an L&D perspective.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a really impressive background and experience in L&D. Do you think there's anything that you're really looking for now when people come to step up to the plate to join your team?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm very fortunate to have like a wide range of skills that, we place. And so, but, we all are, we're a collection of our experiences, right? And so people that have worked in a variety of industries, I think are really set up well, to be able to think creatively and think critically and leverage their experiences and diverse backgrounds to really problem solve on behalf of the learner. That's the key in this field. As I know you feel it as well. We're very passionate about what we do because ultimately we're trying to help people, perform better, change some behaviors in a positive way that'll set them up for success, whether they're a staff member within a company or whether they're somebody who is just trying to gain a new competency or, learn a new skill. Learn something, to be able to do something at a higher level than before they took your course in whatever modality format it was in, whether it's classroom-based learning, a webcast, any, type of self-study on-demand experience. We want people to leave learning solutions that we've designed and developed and be able to perform at a higher level, transfer that knowledge and skill, to their workplace or into society and be better from that experience. So that's an awesome responsibility that we have in L&D.
Definitely. We're definitely a community of helpers, and you're here today, so I think that's proof. Can you tell people about your day-to-day? Because I think, a lot of the guests on the show have been super wonderful, but we're sort of more in the small business or freelance agency sort of place right now. So I think it'd be really interesting to hear about what happens from the, admin director level.
Yeah, so the global accounting and finance organization that I work for, we have over 650,000 professional members and students globally. And so there's a lot of courses, a lot of learning on a variety of different topics to help them, maintain their, credentials and earn continuing professional education credits. So, once you, earn a designation or some type of credential, most times in a lot of professions, you have to earn some continuing education credits to maintain that license. And so that's specifically what my team does. We're a revenue generating business unit, which is very unique for somebody, in learning and development, and so we have a clear visibility to the bottom line in terms of revenue that we generate from the learning courses that we design and develop, partnering with subject matter experts on a variety of topics. But it's a great experience. There is, some pressure to, meet deadlines and stay on budget, but, wow, what a fantastic opportunity it has been for me, someone who has been both a developer, working, with the tools and the weeds, Adobe Captivate, Articulate, Flash. I mean, I 19 years for me in L&D. And so I started off my career as an interactive developer and e-learning multimedia developer. then got training in instructional design, curriculum design, became an instructional designer, and then moved up the ranks in terms of management leadership positions. And so being able to understand the challenges and the nuances that factor into the holistic end-to-end production process has really, I think, given me an advantage being a learning leader for a large team where I have people that are, more focused on the development side with software, and some people that are, really thinking creatively how to create engaging, memorable, relevant experiences, tapping into subject matter experts from across the world. In a variety of different, areas of expertise. And so, we have that commitment to the profession that we serve to design and deliver, relevant, engaging solutions that close the gap in knowledge and skills, but also to really run it like a business and look at ways we can reduce cost of goods sold, like our voiceover narration costs.
Right.
We implemented a new initiative last year where we're leveraging the 300 plus people, staff members in our building, especially, people that, could bring a diverse voice and, like character presence to some of the scenario-based learning that we incorporate into our certificate programs. And we have a variety of on-demand certificate programs that have, around 20 to 30 1 to 2 hour modules encompassed in those certificate programs. And so we really try to spice things up, scenario-based learning, we're, big fans of, and, really trying to think about the cost to produce these, engaging, memorable experiences, but also the design and the outcomes and how do we measure and make sure that everything is targeted, but yet memorable.
Sounds like you have a lot of decisions to make every day.
Yeah, but we have a fantastic team. We don't really have a lot of opportunities for new hires. So, most of our team is kind of experienced and, a lot of veterans that have a lot of good, experience from a variety of different industries. And so we can combine all of our collective experiences and really come up with some cool approaches and techniques.
That sounds like an awesome team to be a part of. So the one thing I heard you say is that, you started off sort of on the ground level building things, and you've been in this field for 19 years. And so I'm curious if you knew this is what you wanted to be doing.
No. And
Okay.
so I did not. So, I have, training in computer graphics technology and computer programming, and then, moved over into instructional design. And I tell people it's kind of like the builder, and the architect. Mm-hmm. So at first I was out, on the site, with my boots and the sheetrock and the hammer and nails, and I was actually building these, leveraging the tools and the technology to build the house that an instructional designer designed and blueprinted for me. And then I became the architect where, I learned how to design and blueprint, the floor plans and the layouts and determine why there should be a bathroom on this floor and why there should be a bonus room here and why there should be more closet space here because of the needs of the occupants, right? Who's going to use the house and who the learners are. And so, being able to kind of wear both hats, that has definitely, I think, given me an advantage as far as my career progression. I thought about, some of the different tool updates that were so common, right? I mean, 19 years, I go back to Flash and Mac, right, before things kind of, even merged and were acquired by Adobe. So, a lot of experience with a lot of, kind of early tool sets and softwares. And so, once I mastered, like one version of Photoshop and Flash and, et cetera, then it's like, man, a year later, the new version, like, man, this is hard to keep up with. And so but one thing that, that has the longest shelf life, as is the design, the design theories, the design models, the framework behind the psychology of learning. and, those different principles and theories, of adult learning, especially andragogy and pedagogy and, all of the classic models of how you evaluate learning and measure. And so from a brain-based learning, standpoint, I fell in love. And, I became a classroom teacher teaching multimedia and web development and, seeing the light bulbs going off. So many different people just told me, Michael, you have a gift for teaching and, just kind of, helping people learn and process things and being creative with how you frame it in a creative context. And so all of those things are qualities and traits, I feel, of a great instructional designer.
I agree. And I'm also going to agree with whoever called you a great teacher, because I think that analogy about the builder and the architect is so easy to understand and so spot on. I just really love that.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you.
Yeah. So I guess my last big question is, if you had somebody who's new to the field or thinking about where they want to go within the learning industry, what piece of advice would you give them?
Number one, always stay focused on the fact that we must be passionate champions of the learners that we're designing solutions for. Everything isn't a training need, right? And so that's why I'm a huge fan of like human performance improvement and, that model where we really try to analyze the root cause of why gaps exist and what are the best solutions and recommendations to close those gaps. Now, if it is training, where, the gaps revolve around knowledge and skills, then wow. Now, okay, tap us in. It's time to shine. Use all that we've trained on and the techniques and tools at our disposal. But, really partnering with, figuring out how you, as someone who has joined our learning and development profession, can be a advisor to stakeholders in terms of being able to analyze root causes and gaps and then design the most engaging, relevant experiences that you can come up with collaboratively, and then stay connected with the community. Follow popular authors and bloggers, thought leaders. It's very easy, and most of them are very approachable. If you send them a note on LinkedIn or Twitter, most of the time they'll respond back. If you if you see them at industry conferences, stop them. Share once they can, just feel your passion for, being an excellent resource as an L&D provider. They will go out of their way to share resources, research, war stories, best practices. You just have to take that initiative to be connected.
That is great advice. And you're definitely living proof that it is true, because we're both here today because, I reached out on LinkedIn and you were gracious enough to agree. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up here?
No, my pleasure. My pleasure. But, just staying current of the trends. There's so much excellent research and that is just at our disposal. One of the biggest trends now is centered around capability academies and continuous learning journeys, and especially in this day and age with the advancements in technology where you can have push learning. And, people can opt in to have push notifications, weekly reminders, that kind of reinforce learning that they experienced at a, maybe 1 day or 2 day workshop or at a conference or something that, you designed, be able to think, how can I try to reinforce and have spaced repetition so that my learners can really, transfer this into long-term memory and ultimately drive behavior change. It's such a great time with the advancements in technology for us to be in this field and really try to make a big impact for our learners.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Michael. I learned so much actually just from sitting here with you for a few minutes, and I'm sure everybody watching did also. I really appreciate that you took the time to come chat with me.
My pleasure, Nicole. Anytime. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. And for those of you watching, if you want to learn more about Michael, you can check the description box below this video. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Okay, take care. Thank you.